of arguments of ignorance that allow me to posit the existence of a creator for which I have no evidence at all. Because what happens as soon as I start believing that is it curtails all further investigation down that path. As second you accept an answer as the most plausible one without evidence, your journey is done. As soon as you say, I don't know, but let's see if we can find out, that's when the journey begins. It's not a leap of faith.
Dude, I got to tell you.
It is not a leap of faith.
No, it's not, because you're not going to commit either way. I mean, to have a leap of faith, you're right, I said that wrong, because if you're not going to, if you automatically say, I don't know, it doesn't take a leap of faith to say, I don't know. You're right, bro.
There you go.
I'm 100%. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, man. I really do, and I don't know how or why, but these things help me every now and then. I'll call you guys every now and then, man, and it's bizarre because, let me tell you, man, I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but I'm going to. I play at Thread Guild every other Sunday, and I'm in a gospel band, believe it or not, and I'm a bass player, and when I see you guys there, I just love the freedom of speech, because the same place that we can actually go in there and play some music about, you know, the gospel, you can come in there and actually talk about how it's not really relevant to some people, and I just, you know, God bless America, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I don't know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but you know, I'm not with you. But hey, stop by sometime. Thanks a lot, Tracy. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.
All right, we got about 17 minutes on the nose left, and one of the things we're going to do is actually replay the intro at the end of the show for people who might have tuned in late. Daniel went through a lot of effort to do a special intro for show 666, and I like it so much that we're just going to play it twice. So we're going to do that towards the end of the show. As a reminder, the back cruise is coming up September 25th. The telephone number to call in is at the bottom of the screen. If you don't make it through today or you don't want to make it through today, you can email tv@atheist-community.org, and we'll do our best to answer it, although there's so much email, the odds are good that it might not get an answer. But we appreciate everybody for hanging on and engaging in the conversations, and we're going to, I don't know if you got anything else before we go to the next call?
Oh, I had a whole thing I could have gone on with Tracy, but that's all right. That's a good place to stop.
All right. Well, we'll go on to George in Montreal.
Hey, guys.
Hey, George.
Yes, I want to talk about the issue of morality, basically, and how you hear a lot of times from various Christians that morality is only about rules coming from God, and that it has nothing to do with whether what you are or what you do. But what I respond usually is that morality, moral laws, basically refer to interaction between people, and between people. So if there's only one person, for example, there's no need for morality. If there's only one person in the world, there's only one mind, the morality is inconsequential and irrelevant, which makes the point that a God is the source of morality makes it a bit absurd. Okay. There's nothing for a God to interact with. What do you guys think about that?
We agree.
Yep.
Yep. But the other point that I believe that Christians also agree that moral laws refer to an interaction, because what's the best thing? What's the most thing they most often say about morals? That if we atheists don't believe in God, we don't have any more. We'll do anything we want. So basically, they are saying that it's an interaction between God and people. That's what morality makes. But they don't accept that.
Yeah, it's the interaction between people. Their God thing is
I don't
irrelevant.
know. I think if you cornered certain believers, they might be willing to say that it would be, say, wrong to covet your neighbor's ass, even if no human beings, you know, much less donkeys, existed, that it would still be wrong because God would still have that rule. You might find that, but that's, I mean, it's nonsensical to talk about rules like that in the absence of people and the objects that the rules refer to, but...
and I'll go a step further, that on that particular one, their religious ideas, whether they came from a God or not, are just wrong.
Well, yeah.
That there is, in fact, nothing wrong with coveting.
Yeah.
Sure, but the thing is that Christians always make a big deal that morality must come from a transcendent singular being.
Right.
The whole
right,
point
because
is that you can't have a morality, which is about interaction with people, from a single being. You can't do that.
Well,
so anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I don't want to hog the rest of the show. Have a nice night, guys.
Cool. Thanks, George.
What you can have, I mean, let's talk about this. Like one guy trapped on a desert island, right? He could say to himself, when he's there on the desert island all by himself, he could say, it is wrong to eat coconuts on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right? He could impose that rule on himself, right? But that's just him making that up, right? Is it in any objective sense, does that, the fact that he has decided that for himself, make it true? No. Now, as soon as you have two people and there's a practical concern like we might accidentally kill ourselves by eating all the coconuts, so we're going to consciously make the decision jointly that we're going to stay away from the coconuts one day a week so that the coconut crop can survive, right? Now you have a basis for that rule that they have made, and it means something. I guess it could mean it to that one guy if he was in the same issue.
He's got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
You know what I'm saying? For any moral rules that don't track back to some practical reality are pointless in the first place and just a means of imposing your will on others. Okay.
All right.
I'm done.
Got Joseph in Reading. Hello.
Hi, yeah, I was wondering, what do you guys think of these prosperity gospel preachers that are out there? They always give you they always tell you to send the money, and they give you these testimonials, and they're almost always positive, but the only time they're negative, they're sitting there laying a guilt trip on that person because they're questioning their faith, and they make them seem like bad people for some reason. And I've noticed that about the only people really getting prosperous off the prosperity gospels are the people preaching it.
This is one of those occasions where I'm going to have to take a page out of Penn and Teller's book in order to avoid being sued. They're dicks. That's my opinion. It is my opinion that they are exploitive dicks.
Yeah, I would say that. Thank you for it.
I'd like to see, yeah, thanks a lot for calling.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to see more investigation in this area. I'm not actually accusing them of being frauds because that might actually get me in trouble, but I would certainly like to see law enforcement actually get off their ass and begin investigating more and more things like this to determine whether or not the claims that they're making are justified. Because if they're not, then they are in fact exploiting people's beliefs in order to rob them, which makes them no different than fraudulent psychics and others who have done this over and over again.
It's the same thing. It's telling people what they want to hear, so they will give you their money.
Yeah. And it's, by the way, one of the easiest things you could possibly do. Telling somebody what they want to hear. I mean, unless you're like some socially awkward person who doesn't get personal interactions, it's really easy to tell somebody exactly what they want to hear, because usually all you have to do is start listening, and they'll tell you what they want to hear. You know. Do you think that I did the right thing? Well, of course you did, sweetie. It was exactly what God wanted you to do. Got a 20? We got Kyle in Olympia. How are you? Hello?
Kyle?
Yes, hi. Am I there?
You are.
Yes, hi. How you doing? I just want to make a quick comment about Tracy that was just on there a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the same position, the exact same position a while back. And I just wanted to say something that someone told me. You know, I hope he's still there so he can hear this. What they said is that if there was a God that created that the Big Bang, let's say God created the Big Bang, he caused it, then you would need something that created God in the first place, and then so on before that. So you don't really need a God, because then you would need a creator for God.
That's true.
So, I mean, that's like the thing that really helped me when I was in his position.
Yeah, and it's part of what Jeff was saying and kind of leading to was this, that they're positing this huge complicated thing that they're not offering an explanation.
You can, of course, also argue that that you need an explanation for even an incredibly simple, you know, hot point of super dense stuff. Right?
Right.
The alternative to the God. But that's where you get into, well, you know, look at the two things you're being asked to